Hi, this is Danny Ryan from Three Will, and this is the Three Will podcast. And today I've got Will Holland here with me. He's a software engineer for Three Will. Thank you for joining me, Will.
Thanks for having me.
And I know it's we're at Friday, on a Friday at the end of the day. It's been a long week, so bear with us, folks. We're going to get through this. We're going to find out a little bit more about Will. So let's just get this kicked off with just finding out a little bit more about what you do from 9 to 5. What's a typical day like for you?
Yeah, well, my days start a little bit earlier than 9 to 5.
Oh, you don't work from 9 to 5?
No, I'm an early bird.
9 to 5.
I typically start my days a little bit earlier, especially here recently. I've been, the project I'm on, I'm working with some overseas resources. So I try to get a jump on the day so I can have some more interaction with them. But usually the day starts off with getting everything set up for work and checking in with those overshore resources and seeing if there's anything that they need help with. Mm-hmm. And then after that, it's just making sure that all of the tasks that I have for whatever project are getting done on time. Mm-hmm. I try to jump into the code as quick as I can, and that's pretty much it. Yeah,
go after it for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So when do you? I guess checking in with the folks that are overseas, what time do you usually talk to them? What's a typical, do you have like a set period of time each day that you talk with them?
Yeah, so they'll tend to start while we're all fast asleep, and then around 7 o'clock our time, I'll log on. We're using visualstudio.com, and they have a neat little team room, chat room feature in there.
Okay.
And so we'll start communicating there, and if they have any issues, that's usually how we communicate with each other. And then we have a daily stand-up a few hours later, and we get a chance to hear from them.
And this is India.
Yep.
The folks are in India.
Yep.
You know, how far off hour-wise? Do you have any idea?
They are about 6 hours. I think they're 5.5 hours ahead of us, or something like that.
So you answer questions, and then you end up setting them up for what they're going to go after for the next day. Is that?
Yep. So some of the tasks that we have in order to complete this project, we're handing off to them. So I am at the beginning of every sprint, we go through and pick out a few tasks that we think would be good for them to go after, and they've been doing a great job, and we just make sure that keeping them busy.
That's awesome. Very cool. Is this your first exposure to having an outsourced team where you're trying to manage and keep them on task?
It's
a new thing for you?
A first time for me managing somebody other than myself.
And how does that feel? You're grown up. You're all grown up now.
Yeah, it's been a rewarding experience, and certainly identifying areas that I can certainly grow in. Mm-hmm. So that's definitely a positive. But it's they've made it easy on me so far.
Very cool. That's neat. That's great. I'm glad you're getting that exposure. It's nice. So let's jump over to, this is a personal interview. I asked you about work, but so let's hit. Is there hobby wise outside your, not the 9 to 5, 7 to 5 or 7 to whatever. Whatever kind of crazy hours you're working now. I know everybody is very busy right now. And if you're looking for a job, go to threewill.com/jobs. Tell me a little bit more about what outside of work is some of your hobbies.
Yeah, so I have two small children, Liam, who is 3, and my daughter Lillian just turned 1.
Awesome.
So I spend as much time as I can with them, just rolling around on the floor, and I've recently started back trying to learn to play the guitar, so I'll pull that out and play with them. Lillian is a big dancer, so she makes me feel good, like I'm actually accomplishing something on the guitar.
Nice. So you play her little thing? She does a little jig?
Yeah, I'll practice one song until I feel like I've gotten as far as I can go with it, and while I'm making horrible sounds on the guitar, she's dancing away. So I've got at least one fan.
Nice, very nice.
Other than that, I'm a pretty big gamer. I think I'm the only one here who's a pretty big gamer, but I don't have near as much time as I used to. But every once in a while,
we've crimped your style here. I'm so sorry.
That's quite all right. It's quite all right. So whenever the kids are in bed and the wife is busy, I'll usually sit down in front of the Xbox. And
so the Xbox is the console that you like?
Yep, that or I'll occasionally play PC games like World of Warcraft. I haven't played that much recently. I've been sticking to Destiny on the Xbox. So that's been my go-to game for the past few months.
So do you binge play, or do you what's typically you play for an hour and then call it quits? Or
yeah, these days if I get an hour, I'm pretty happy with that.
Welcome to fatherhood.
Yeah.
Welcome. You're growing up, my son. You're just growing up.
Prior to that, having especially prior to Three Will back in the college days, it was not unheard of for me to have 40 hours in a game a week. So yeah. I've become quite a bit more responsible since then.
Oh, you're growing up. I'm so proud of you. Favorite TV shows?
The ones I'm watching now, my wife and I, that's our thing that we do together. And we're watching shows like Fargo. We both really enjoy that. And some of the other bigger shows like Gotham, we're into that.
Cool.
Nothing out there.
Nice. So you typically watch them with your wife?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we DVR everything and watch it after the kids go to bed. Everything happens after the kids go to bed.
I hear you loud and clear. Books? Any favorite authors or favorite books that you have?
There is a series of authors that write books related to the World of Warcraft. And if you're unfamiliar with that game, there is a deep story behind all of it. And there are quite a few authors that write on the lore of that game. One in particular, her name is Christy Golden, and I really enjoy her books in particular. But if I have the time to devote to a book, which again is not frequently here, I'll either listen to those books on Audible or read the hard copy if I.
So do the books? How do they? So the books sort of add more layers on top of what the game does. Goes into different.
Yeah. So the game itself, World of Warcraft, each expansion that comes out drives the story forward a little bit.
Okay.
And being that it's a video game, there's only so much detail that they'll go into inside of the game. They're more focused on having, actual fun gameplay.
Yeah.
And the books tend to go way deeper into either what led to the expansion or something that happened directly after it, or they'll just take one character from the game and give sort of an origin story of them.
Very nice. What's your talking about weapons? What's your weapon of choice? What type of phone do you use? You're like what? What are you asking me?
Okay.
Do you have guns or knives?
Yeah.
No. What type of phone do you use?
I really prefer the last word. That's a gun from Destiny.
Oh, okay. The last word.
Yeah. No, my phone, I have a Galaxy S6. Nice. Bought those a couple months ago. And I'm not a huge phone guy. I had a Galaxy S3 before that, and I had it until it quit working. And we got this phone just because it had a really nice camera, and it's important having two young kids to be able to take clear photos and excellent video. So that's why we went with the Galaxy.
Camera app's your favorite app, or do you have a
Definitely.
favorite app?
No, that's the two things I use the most. I use the internet browser for checking little random factoids, and I have the Reddit is fun app. I'll look at that frequently, and then camera and phone. That's about the extent of my use of it.
Well, one last question before I let you out of here. It's the self-serving question, which is, what do you like about working at Three Will?
Well, I think the answer is what isn't there to like about working at Three Will.
Give me a high five.
I think the real obvious answer is my coworkers, the people that I work with, and even the customers that I get to work with. But more so the people that I deal with on a daily basis everybody here is extremely intelligent and extremely dedicated to what they do, and they make it easy for somebody like me who doesn't have near the experience that these guys do to come in and be on a project and not feel like the low man on the totem pole. I feel that I am one of their peers. I am equal to them, and they provide many learning opportunities.
Awesome.
There's nobody here that is afraid to help you out with understanding something or showing you a new way to accomplish whatever you're working on. So yeah, I mean, it's been going on 5 years, and every day I get to deal with fun and interesting people, and they help me become better at what I do.
We've talked, when talking with people, we've talked a bit about like humble confidence and what that is. I think you're sort of pulling it out and saying it's great as a team member when somebody has humble confidence, because you feel like you can approach them and ask them questions, and they're not feeling like you're making you feel small or like you're asking stupid questions. I think that's one of the side benefits as well, is if you're working with other people, it's great that they're intelligent, but you also need to be approachable as well. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there are quite a few guys here that when I first started, I was immediately intimidated by, because they had these, giant resumes, and they're always the names that get dropped when people are talking about smart people or people who are good at what they do, and like the Kirks and Erics of the world. And it didn't take long once I met them and got to work with them, to understand that first, they absolutely deserve their reputations, but they are both people who are not too good to help somebody out. And I think it's true of everybody here.
So it's Friday. Are you doing the hackathon?
I am. I am.
Tell for folks who are listening in what's going on.
Yeah. So a handful of us have decided to camp out overnight, or at least I'll be camping out.
And play
overnight.
World of Warcraft?
No, I'll be sleeping on a couch after we're done.
Okay.
But no, we're getting together and just having a good long session of learning new technologies and learning from each other. So that way we can go out and better serve our customers.
That's nice. Awesome. We'll have a good time tonight doing that. And hopefully we'll order up some pizza and some caffeine and stuff like that. And enjoy yourself. Thank you for taking the time to do this, Will.
Of course.
Awesome. You've been great. I hear so many good things about stuff you're doing on projects. Keep up. It's amazing to see how far you've progressed even with this time. I joke around a little about it, feeling like I'm proud of watching you do things. It's just amazing. So continue on what you're doing and continue to grow, and thank you for all that you do on a daily basis on projects.
Well, thank you, and I certainly will try.
Absolutely. Thanks everybody for listening. Have a great day. Bye-bye.